even if you know who are the people who proposed this, I don't want you guys to go around attacking them. I'm making this video to politely respond, and I will say why this entire plan will definitely fail. And again, I myself am not anti-car, but I don't know why there are so many people within the bus community that are like anti-car. And the thing is, they are entitled to their own opinion of road usage and vehicles in general. I'm not gonna like say, hey, you cannot be this, you cannot be that, but I just wish that they don't bring this kind of sentiment into bus planning in general. Because the whole problem with their plan is to make buses do the role of trains, which they were never meant to do. Like, all the semi-express buses, which they call it rapid buses. And then the other one is that, and that they are trying to eliminate hub spoke pretty much completely. Some areas have to be hub spoke because like it's way too niche of a connection to justify a long distance bus route passing through a certain area. And the thing is, like, the connections that they're giving to those new areas, sometimes it might be a little bit unnecessary. Their main aim is basically to give as many new connections as possible at the expense of existing commuters. And at times they may give links that are not even needed in the first place, like this for example. Because Matilda and Sumang in general, they already have 382 that takes them to Pongo. And once you take them to Pongo, you have access to like a lot of different services. You even have access to 39 that's just outside at the Waterway Point bus stops. But let me just break it down step by step for you guys to understand why you really shouldn't do this kind of thing. So let's start with service tree. Now, service tree, as I've mentioned many times, yes, at some point there was like rumors about them splitting the Pasir Ris to Tampines half of the route, and then the Pasir Ris to Pongo half of the route, and then they're gonna boost this sector, and then they're gonna degrade this sector, right? Like splitting into two services. I mean, historically, if you didn't know, it's a merger of like these two feeders, and then over time they extended it to Pongo as well. But here's the thing: even if they really end up splitting service tree into two resultant services, the Pongo to Pasir Ris sector, it has to be kept. You cannot alter the route at all. And the only way I can support any alteration of the route is if you actually, instead of like sending this bus service to Pongo Central, you send it to like Pongo Coast, or you send it to Matilda instead. But that's only given the fact if you're able to like put a layover point or a bus terminal at Matilda itself, then okay, you could send normal service tree. So instead of terminating at Pongo Central, you could actually send service tree into Matilda, but that's only if that place has a bus terminal in the first place. And I really, really wish I don't have to keep reiterating this, the importance of service tree. So service tree, as you know, it used to be like this, but then they changed it so that the route becomes like this. Okay, by the way, it used to loop like this, and then they extended it to Pongo. And then service 68, which was introduced much later, it goes Avenue 10, and then it copies service tree, except that this thing goes Elias. It actually touches Elias Mall in the case of 68, and yeah, it goes inside Pasir Ris interchange. And I want you guys to see the difference between 68 and service tree and why you should not alter both of them. 68 does not touch this sector of Pasir Ris Drive 1. Now this sector of Pasir Ris Drive 1, it used to be part of the old service 357. And that's why 357 in the past, or even service 3 now, allows people to hub spoke from Pasir Ris Drive 1 from this direction into Elias and Pasir Ris Street 71 and this part of Drive 10. So this black portion is one part of the route that you just absolutely cannot take away. And then 68, it's different because it allows people from inside here to reach Elias Mall. That's why 68 even goes Elias Road in the first place. And 68 also allows Elias Road to access IKEA Tampines. So obviously one goes TP, one goes IKEA Tampines. So yes, there is a minute difference, but these sorts of like minute differences are really, really important because look, 68 is already how do you say it's already so crowded, like sometimes you cannot even board the bus at Tampines. It's so crowded, like it's so crowded to the point whereby you cannot just depend on one service to tank like these entire sectors. You need 68 and 3 to both exist at the same time. That's what I was trying to say. Because this catchment and this catchment, they are completely different. And keep in mind that 358 doesn't even go to inside Street 71 in the first place. So having 68, it's a much needed convenience for people who are living along here. They want to go to Elias Mall and stuff like that. Yeah, they could take 68 instead of like taking 358 and having to walk inside. So again, this catchment and this catchment, they are completely different. And I've told you many, many times, hub spoke. You transfer from the buses along Pasir Ris Drive 1 to Service 3. Yeah, that's its purpose. That is the reason why Service 3's western sector cannot be touched. And keep in mind, yes, you do have 89 and 109 along this sector, but these people, ever since you're like 2000, was it 2003 or 4 when it extended to Punggol? I cannot remember, but basically, rather than getting them to squeeze on board 89 or 109, these people over here, they really need access to, at the bare minimum, the TP bus stop. Imagine you are so close, not really so close, but it's literally just a stone's throw away to a TP bus stop, and you don't even have a direct bus. It's like, no, what I was trying to say is that you don't necessarily need a direct bus, but it's like when you're given a direct bus and then somebody just takes it away from you because they want to fuel their own bus route amendment agenda, it's kind of selfish, you know. These people, they still need a connection to TP bus stop. Basically, these residents. You know why? It's impossible to cut through the school, Tampines Meridian Junior College. So these people would greatly, greatly, greatly benefit from having Service 3. And then over here, Service 3 is also the only the only bus from the TP bus stops to Pongo Field, East, and Central. But technically, nobody really takes it to Central anyway. These people would take, nowadays they would take 39 instead if they want to go Pasir Ris. So this is the stretch of Service 3 that absolutely cannot be taken away. It's not just this stretch. It's from this stretch all the way to Pasir Ris via Street 71. I told you Service 3 has to stay along Street 71. And then, since this part is like kind of disposable, if you want to extend to Pongo Coast either via this or like via this road, okay, it's fine. And even if you wanted to send this service tree to Matilda, like basically Pongo Central, like Pongo Central, and then somehow send it inside Matilda, you need to put a layover spot or ITH here so that your whole suggestion of service tree going here would work, basically. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. Because as you can see from what they did with the green route, they sent it to... I don't even know where they sent it to. Is it like Paya Lebar Airbase? I don't know, but this thing is completely unnecessary, seeing as they are like what replaces 68 between Pasir Ris and Tampines Retail Park. Oh, they really sent... Please don't do this kind of thing. I have already said service tree needs to take people from Street 71 to TP bus stop and Pongo Field, Pongo East as well. And you are not supposed to make either 89 or 109 go inside this area. 89 and 109, they are designed to be direct along the main road. Service tree, as a merger of two feeders, is designed to troll, and it must keep that troll. And since it's the only bus service that goes inside Street 71, that goes to TP bus stop, that connection has to be kept. I'm just going to say it very objectively. Using service tree, like amending service tree to basically wherever you want it to go, just to push your own bus route amendment agenda and not even sparing a thought for the residents along Street 71 that need to access the either Pongo or Pongo East is completely selfish. And then for the 1 millionth time, please don't do this kind of thing. Please don't. Just don't. I'm going to explain both of these services. Macro view, by the way. So I'm not gonna like zoom into the route or anything. I'm just gonna explain using macro view. See, 53 Bishan. And then it goes to Serangoon Central, as well as Lorong Asu and Hougang Avenue 1 to... Okay, I'm gonna stop it at Defu. I'm sorry if I butchered Defu's pronunciation, but yeah. Defu, how do you say it? Okay. And then there is also 58 that does a different route. Oops, sorry. I should draw it properly like this. Yeah. So, number one, do not, and I mean do not touch 53. 58 alone is high demand at Lorong Chuan when the schools, like the international schools, when they dismiss. I mean, they also take like 73, 105 and all, but please, do not touch 53. 58 already gets jam-packed to the core. 58 is a MRT redundancy bus service for Circle Line. And 53, it serves Lorong Chuan, Boundary Road, and Serangoon Central. This catchment and 58's catchment is completely different. So both of these, they need to exist. And not just that. I need you guys to realize one thing. And I hope I don't ever have to repeat this again. This section of Upper Paya Lebar Road, Lorong Asu and Hougang Avenue 1, they have very, very poor access to the outside world. And when I mean outside world, Bishan is one of them. They need at least one direct. They need at least one direct bus service to Bishan. And 53 is the only one that is direct and fast enough for them to get to Bishan. And 53 also serves the mosque at Street 14 as well. So with that in mind, again, this blue sector that I've drawn out, they need direct access to the west side. Because 45 only takes them up to Avenue 1 and then it goes Avenue 10. Once again, I repeat, 53 needs direct access from Lorong Asu and Hougang Avenue 1 to Bishan. And this connection, before 53, okay, it used to loop here. Before 53 got extended to Changi Airport, this bus service has existed ever since the beginning of time. And not just that, there are a lot of like elderly seniors living near these areas. It's also a lot of landed areas as well. When you have a bus service that has never changed, never been amended for a very, very long period of time, don't touch it. One more thing. From Ang Mo Kio, there is like 8361, right? From Ang Mo Kio Avenue 1, this entire sector, and then there's like Lorong Chuan, Serangoon Garden Way, Yio Chu Kang Road, Upper Serangoon Road, like Kovan. There is already access between Ang Mo Kio Avenue 1 and this part of Lorong Chuan to Kovan in the form of present-day Service 136. Keeping that in mind, you do not need to make 53 and 81 swap sectors between Kovan. I've already mentioned this many times, but some people just refuse to listen for I don't know what reason. Whether 81 remains as a Serangoon Central Boundary Road loop to Defu, or whether it eventually gets extended to Bidadari, regardless, 81 has to stay along Upper Serangoon Road. Because you're not able to touch 53, right? They still need a direct connection between Lorong Asu and Avenue 1 to Bishan, right? 81 has to stay like that. The connection from here to here, there's already 136. Simple enough. Let's focus on this part. This is the problem with all these bus enthusiasts in general, collectively. I'm not targeting one person, I'm just saying collectively, this is one major issue with them. I want to point out that 53 and 81, they are not going to be rationalized by CRL, Cross Island Line, in its current form. Yes, there might be a little bit of downsizing, but it's just downsizing. The routes are never going to change. There is nothing wrong with the present day versions of these routes. However, please listen to this. You do not use a bus to do an MRT's job. You want to get from point A to point B fast, you have this, but more of this in this context. You do not use a bus to compete with existing MRT. You do not. And you absolutely do not amend a bus service, an existing bus service, to suit your own objectives. These buses are designed for the commuters, not you, not like your plan. I don't know how to say it, but it's like, okay, what I was trying to say is you do not amend existing services to suit your own agenda. Yes, there are some like temporary bus services that are in place before the MRT opens. Yes, but look, if you do this, the demand is like way gonna be way too niche because you skipped all the intermediate stops. And with that in mind, every single one of that niche demand, it's going to go over to Cross Island Line. I don't care if your plan is like short term or long term. If it's short term, then it's like all the more don't do it in the first place. So in short, it's more of like the more you make bus look like MRT, the more the so-called new MRT line that's upcoming is going to siphon away all the demand. Let me just illustrate it to you with a very simple diagram. So if you have this kind of like demand pattern, this is more of like a train. Like look at the stopgap. But when you have like this kind of stop pattern, like I have some examples like 65, 67, and all of these, they are supposed to be done by bus. Okay, so you have two options. You either take it from the intermediate stop and then you transfer to MRT, that's one way, that's a hub spoke method, or you take the bus from the intermediate stop to another intermediate stop, and both of these stops, they have no direct access to the MRT. Like for example, I could even use this or even this and say this is Pasir Ris Drive 1, and then I say this is like Cross Island Line. Yeah, I could use this example as well. This is the reason why you do not make all these nonsense rapid buses, because they are just going to do the MRT's job. You can take buses short distance, you can take buses long distance. Nobody is there to stop you and say, except those MRT extremists. But basically, you you are given the choice to take bus short or long distance. And what bus offers that MRT doesn't offer is the doorstep connection. So when I mean by doorstep connection, I mean you take a bus to or from any of those bus stops in between that are not served by MRT. What bus gives is connectivity, all stop connectivity. If it's this kind of service, there's the MRT. You do not make bus do this. Yes, there are a few. I don't think it's even relevant. It's more of like there are bus services that, you know, I'm just gonna list them all down. Okay, but in this case, TP has got nothing to do with North Shore Line or Cross Island Line extension to like Yishun East, Sembawang, Woodlands North or something. TPE is its own corridor, so I don't think I'm even going to use this as an example. 190.960.972, it's its own corridor, and it's not really meant to duplicate MRT in any sense. Okay, that's like actually not a good example because since these bus services are their own corridor and are not even related to the MRT at all, I shouldn't even use this as an example. But basically, those bus services that I just drew in green but then I erased them, those are typically the faster semi-express or express bus services basically. Okay, and then maybe there is like this one and this one as well. But keep in mind, these services along their neighborhood sectors, they are local as well. It's only when they go to the expressway or what. Basically, they have a neighborhood sector and then they have an express sector that doesn't even, and both the neighborhood sector and the express sectors, they do not serve the same purposes as MRT at all. I mean, take 502 for instance, take 518 for instance, they are not designed to do the job of MRT. So even if they have like several quirks of being a rapid service, as well as like the PIE, BKE, AYE, TPE bus services that I illustrated just now. Oh, never mind, I shouldn't say this because that one's getting rationalized. So yeah, you know, these services, they do have like a little bit of like this kind of character, but it's not even relevant in like this context because in those contexts, it's like they're not even related to the MRT at all. But this one, I'm sorry, if you're gonna, there is just no way to justify a rapid version of this when literally people could just tell you to take CRL. Like, if you're at Bishan, you go Ang Mo Kio and then you take CRL. If you're at Kovan, you go Hougang and you take CRL. Or even simpler, if you really wanted to take CRL, you could just like take any bus service that goes to Defu MRT and just take CRL if you want the fastest way. Buses are meant for all stop doorstep connections and convenience. They are not there to be fast as fuck. Yes, buses that are fast, like I'm talking about BKPIETP, yes, there are buses that are fast, but that's because they use the expressway. They were never really designed to do this kind of job because they don't even parallel MRT in the first place. When they don't parallel MRT, when they are their own corridor, it allows them to have some form of this kind of character. But when there is literally cross island line that's like gonna solve a lot of these I need to get from point A to point B as fast as possible issues, you don't really need this kind of like rapid bus service. The buses are still going to exist because of the all-stop doorstep connectivity. Whether they are transferring to the MRT or whether they're taking bus long distance, it does not matter. This is the bus's purpose. You do not use a bus to do an MRT's purpose. It's from Bishan to Serangoon to Changi Airport. Literally, just take NSL Bishan to Ang Mo Kio, right? Just take NSL one stop and change CRL. And if you're at Serangoon or Kovan, just take Northeast Line for like one or two stops and change CRL. Or take, or just like, I don't know, take some bus and hustle to CRL if you want the fastest option. Buses are not designed to be fast all the time. They are primarily designed with the all-stop doorstep convenience connection mostly. Be it short distance or long distance, the reason why you take a bus, it's not because it's like fast or anything. Again, it's because of all these doorstep connections, whether you're taking it short distance or long distance. And I mentioned before, yes, I'm repeating myself, but some buses, they just happen to be faster. That's an added bonus. But if you're talking about buses, like their whole purpose, no, you don't use bus to do this kind of like point A to point B. I want it as fast as possible thing. You just don't. Because it's just going to essentially do the same job as MRT and end up getting rationalized. And there are very, very rare cases whereby this kind of thing actually works. That's the reason why 30E is probably gonna be rationalized away, but Service 30, because it has all these doorstep connections, like in between West Coast to Dakota as well as to Badok, because 30 has all of these intermediate stop connections, 30, the parent service, is not going to get rationalized. Any bus service that has this kind of any bus service that has this kind of like demand pattern in which you guys call it rapid, it's just asking to get rationalized. So again, moral of the story, don't do stuff like this. Once again, in short, this thing, you are never going to realistically beat CRL. The way in which you're beating CRL is not because of speed. It's because of these doorstep connectivity, these intermediate stops that do not have MRT access. Doesn't matter if they're taking short or long distance, they do not have MRT access. And this is what you do with a bus. This is what you do with a train line. Get it? I don't want to repeat myself again. If I have to, I give up on life. The next thing, I've mentioned this to you guys many, 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 many times. Do not use trunk services to eat up feeder services. Do not. It only works in very, very, very rare cases. Even if you think it's well planned, I'm sorry, it's just going to get affected by external traffic. That's the reason why 358, 359, 229, or just any feeder service in general, they only operate within their towns. You do not send these services outside their towns. The only reason why they merged 294 and 357 to form Service 3, it's because those connections are actually needed. These connections are not needed. So please don't do this. 358 and 359, they are only meant to serve parsers west and parsers east. They are not meant to go outside the town. They are meant to stay within the town. Please do not use trunk services to eat up feeder services. And the thing is, when you do this kind of nonsense, you would end up having to sandbag existing commuters, saying, oh, new low frequency gap filler service for last mile connectivity for Parser Street 51. Oh my god, astaghfirullah. 359, okay, it used to be two feeder services merged, and then they merged into one. And then it got amended from Drive 1 to Street 51. Oh my god, like, just don't touch it. 359, East and West Loop, they are okay as they are now. You are just introducing a lot more problems for yourself. I can tell you, this is not gonna sit well with the residents. It's up to you if you wanna listen to me or not. It's not gonna sit well. Oh my god. Oh my god. There's a reason why they have stopped doing townlink or intra-town services in general. I mean, the only things that they're doing is probably this and this. But these, as townlinks or intra-towns, they have actual use. This one is low demand. This one is low demand. This one is OTA. Just, for the love of God, don't. This is low demand. This is low demand. What makes you think that when you merge them, they're gonna be better? No. And the thing is, nobody is going to travel from one end of the loop, like Jalan Loyang Besar, to Parser. Nobody does this. When you make a town link or an intra-town, you have to ensure that there are going to be people that travel from one end of the route to another. Otherwise, there is no point in making a town link. This is, I'm sorry, this is like such a massive, massive conceptual error on so many levels. No, there is not even enough demand in the first place. And I'm going to tell you, if you merge these two services, the demand is going to be very lopsided. Look, splitting, okay, it's not really splitting. They are already two separate services. Leaving them at their current state, two separate services, means that you could more effectively control, I'm just giving an example, like control their frequencies. If, oh my god, if you merge them, they are going to be stuck with like worse frequencies in general, because what happens to one loop, it's going to affect the other loop. Have you guys not learned with Woodlands the fact that they have to like poop out these bus services. Oh my god. And even if these aren't really the okay, let me tell you one scenario. You know Pasir Ris Road, it's quite narrow, right? There are a lot of private houses, right? If a vehicle happens to be stuck at Pasir Ris Road, people along Jalan Loyang Besar will be affected. And the only way you can compensate them is to run more T trips. And at that point, you're going to screw yourself and end up with like this situation. So to prevent this kind of situation from happening, can you just do the easy thing? Sorry, just not really do the easy thing, but just don't overcomplicate things. Just leave them untouched. They are better off untouched. Another issue, trying to rationalize bus services haphazardly. Service 3 has its own purpose. Service 53 has its own purpose. 81 has its own purpose. And 81 is meant for Kovan. Feeding Kovan to Pasir Ris and then to Tampines Avenue 7. 81 has to touch Tampines Avenue 7. You cannot take it away from Avenue 7. This is what I mean. When these people rationalize stuff, they end up sandbagging existing commuters just to push their own agendas. So essentially, their dirty plan is basically to swap 53 and 81's Coven sectors, and not only that, make it so that Service 3 no longer serves TP, and they downgraded it to a Service 3M that stops at Pasir Ris. And then what did they do? They say that like this sector, it's like basically it's going to be the new 81 that doesn't serve Avenue 7. It's going to throw inside Service 3's existing areas, and then the bus service that they send to Kovan, which is now 81, they're going to send to Changi. Number one, the bus service that you guys are going to send to Changi Airport is going to get absolutely destroyed by Cross Island Line simply because it doesn't have enough local sectors to inject demand. All the demand that you're gonna get from this new resultant service is going to Cross Island Line because you guys make it rapid. You guys make a bus do an MRT job, and then you guys are like, oh my god, I'm so surprised 81 got rationalized. Don't. 81 has to stay local, 53 has to stay local, 3 has to stay local. I've already explained why. And they don't even cover Avenue 7. They just want to make their new integrated service. It's like, I don't know, it's like 3 plus 53 plus. It's so stupid. What they're trying to do to these routes is essentially trying to. Oh my god, it's like stupid, man. Like, oh my god. What they're essentially trying to do is that they're replacing this with Kovan. And then they're going to. Okay, I need to specify. Oh my god. This is so dumb. Woodley and Serangoon to Changi Airport. You guys have NEL to reach CRL, to reach CJA, to reach Changi Airport. Bishan doesn't have that luxury. That's why they need a direct bus service to Changi Airport and not to Tampines, please. Oh my god, this is so dumb. So essentially what they were trying to do is this one doesn't even like the bus that they're sending inside Lorong Asu. and Hougang Avenue 1, it's not even going to touch Bishan. It's just going to like do this. And then they're gonna make it go what is this? This is not how you do a bus rationalization. The fact that they just completely deleted TP bus stop to like basically, I'm pretty sure there are people along like Pasir Ris East who want to get to like the TP bus stop. Okay, you know what? Like from here, I'm sure there are people who from here actually go to like somewhere, say Pasir Ris Drive 4 or Pasir Ris Street 21. And then now you're saying you gotta take this to Pasir Ris and then you're gonna have to change to another bus, which you integrate. Oh my, that's so dumb. It's so confusing, man. Like, it's like they end up integrating emerging services and end up they have to poop out even more services to fill in the gaps that they left. And they claim that it's going to save resources. Like, please don't fucking bullshit me, man. Like, oh my god. So they are sandbagging TP bus stop. They are sandbagging Tampines Avenue 1. Sorry, they are sandbagging TP bus stop and they're sandbagging Tampines Avenue 7. Which they are making so-called 81 less direct because they ate up service 3. What the hell? I don't use trunk services to eat up feeder services or the trunk services that kind of act as feeder services like 3. Please don't do this. Do you know how dumb this is? Like Bishan to Tampines and what the fuck is this? This can be just this to this can easily be done by just MRT. Oh my god. I'm sorry, this is just a whole new level of like delusion. You're just creating more problems for residents. You're not solving anything. And to make matters worse, they say that this one is like rapidified. It's just going to end up being rationalized by MRT. Again, I'm not insulting the people who made these. I'm insulting the ideas. It's just so fucking dumb. What is wrong with these routes? This service doesn't use a lot of resources. This one kind of does. This one doesn't use a lot of resources. But the reason why it uses a lot of resources is because it's a popular bus service. It is Lorong Asu and Hougang Avenue 1's livelihood. They need a bus to the outside world. And now you're denying them one. Are you serious? And when I mean outside world, I mean like Bishan as well. Yeah, you could connect them to east, but you need to connect them to west as well. And obviously 45 doesn't go to Bishan. You want to know another part that absolutely disturbs me? This is part of their plan to not run 68. Because you know what they're going to claim is that, okay, never mind. What they're going to claim is that 68 is going to have like 2 areas of demand, right? Like oh my god. Like basically it's going to have the Tampines part, Tampines to Tampines North part, right? They're gonna use another, I don't know, Tampines service to replace that, and then IKEA. Look, you need to connect these people to IKEA, and then 68 goes to Avenue 10 as well. It's not like 296 that goes inside, and it's definitely not 299 as well. There is nothing wrong with 68's route between Tampines to IKEA Tampines. And not just that, there is 46 from Tampines North to Pasir Ris. But you guys seem to completely forget what 68 is supposed to do. Okay, I'm going to bring up... Okay, let me show you guys the reason why you cannot cut 68 away. This is 46's route. This is 68's route. It allows people, 68 allows people to cross the bridge from Tampines North to Pasir Ris. One direct bus ride. One direct bus ride. 46 doesn't go to 46 does not go to Pasir Ris West. And do not have dirty and I don't want you guys to have dirty ideas of amending 46 to throw in Pasir Ris West as well. And whatever these people say here, they completely disregarded what I said about the difference between 3 and 68. One is meant to take people from Pasir Ris Street 71 into Elias Road, Elias Mall. The other one is to allow people to hub spoke from Pasir Ris Drive 1 to Street 71 and vice versa. That's 3. That's 68. You do not cut away essential connections like this. This is not how you do bus planning. No. You do not amend 3 to eat up 68. That is wrong on so many levels. And then claim that because these people, they claim that like, oh, there is only demand to like IKEA Tampines, so you know what, let's screw these people, right? This is not how you bus plan. Not just these people. Oh, I'm gonna screw these people also, or maybe these people also. This one is hub spoke. This one is new connections. 68 allows people to from IKEA to Tampines North as well, and not just that, it allows people from Tampines North to cross the bridge to Pasir Ris West as well. I don't care if like how many people say it was 68 is a resource hog. No, it's an essential bus service for a reason. They didn't just crayon 68 for fun. Now for the record, if they wanna amend 299 to what? Okay, if they want to amend 299 to become a town link that goes to IKEA, that's fine. Okay, I don't understand why they actually send it to Tampines Concourse instead of like Central 1, Central 3, Avenue 7. The reason why 299 even stops at Tampines Central 1 in the first place, it's because they need to serve the interchange, and there is a pair of bus stops outside the interchange. So whilst I appreciate the fact of that they're trying to give people access to Tampines Concourse, but literally there is like 298 that goes inside Concourse. 299, it has to serve Central 1, and therefore it has no choice but to take Central 1, Central 3, Avenue 7. This is what they think of when they're doing bus planning. So, okay, this one's just a minor issue, but I'm just explaining why Tampines Central 1, 299 is designed to stop at Tampines Central 1 so that it offers Tampines bus interchange connections to it or from it. Now let me bring about one very major mistake made by these people. It looks familiar, right? What they did is that they completely screwed over Oh, this is even worse, man. You look at their green route, the one that they integrated really haphazardly. They completely sandbagged Avenue 2. You know, Service 3 keeps this sector because of the old 294. But it looks like they completely cut it. Oh my god. I know this one is a remnant of history, but you should keep it, honestly. Oh my god, this is so bad. This is what you should never do. There is a reason why they introduced 296 as a standalone service. so that it doesn't get affected by the traffic congestion from other areas of Tampines. Look, you guys are making the same mistake as like the Woodlands feeder services, and then in return this thing has to like introduce 912B 912A. It's the exact same problem. If one loop gets screwed, the other loop would get affected as well. And let me and sorry, this one is really just a big mistake. I don't know why they're so stubborn about it. I literally, oh my god. Number one, this junction up till here as well is very congestion prone. This is why bus enthusiasts need to stop being anti-car. Okay, I know 298X goes here, but here's the thing. This stretch of, this road, okay, I know there were like shuttle buses that used to go inside here, but this stretch of road and this stretch of road, they are designed for cars. They are not designed for buses. Even in the past, when buses exited to Avenue 4, like 66 in the past, it used to go to Tampines. It was drawn east to Tampines, by the way, in 1980 something, and then 22 as well. And then nowadays, there's also like 293, 299. They are designed to avoid the jam-prone areas. Now, okay, I'm gonna say this again. This road is designed for cars. This road is not designed for buses. They should be separated. From this pair of bus stops near the mosque, Masjid Darul Gufran, you are able to walk to our Tampines hub. I have done the walk before, it's reasonable. If you want to access these bus stops, literally just transfer to service 34. Or just walk here. It's not that there's no bus. There is literally one bus called service 34. Or if 34 is taking way too long to come, take one bus to Tampines Interchange and take another bus out. As long as you still have your transfer rebate. Like if it's less than 2 hours and you're still within 4 transfers. Just don't, oh my god. For the love of God, you do not make a bus service do this. You don't. Even service 3 does this. It does not go inside here. And I know what you think. What about sending a bus to... No, this part of Tampines Avenue 4 is congestion prone. If buses can avoid it, like let's say from here, or let's say from here, you send a bus here. That's the reason why 296 doesn't serve this pair of bus stops, because it's not meant to. It's not meant to. Again, the main issue with them is that they are so hyper obsessed with just, oh, here's a new connection. Oh, here's a new connection. Whilst sandbagging existing commuters. There is a reason. Okay, I know I've extended 293's West Loop before. Like basically what I did with 293 in the past is that I made it so that 293's East Loop can go a little bit to Simei. It's still within like the whole, what you call that? It's still within Tampines planning zone. Like Simei is still part of like Tampines planning zone. So basically it's to give people one option from Avenue 9 to Simei. And then the Western Loop, I extended it a little bit. But the thing is that I did not touch any of 293's existing routes. I mean, like literally, what I did was I made it so that I didn't touch any part of 293's route, and I just basically extended it to Simei for the East Loop. This one is basically DTL, if you get what I mean. And then the western loop, I made it so that 293, sorry about that. I made it so that 293 it does this. I didn't touch it, and I sent this part to like Tampines North, to loop at Tampines North. Somewhere inside there. I don't remember where I made it loop at, but I am not changing the route. It's still the same. The compromise is that I am breaking up. So yes, you see me literally shitting on my own idea. But then a lot of people, they cannot take criticism, so I mean objective criticism. But like, what I've done is basically I've broken up the link between East Loop and West Loop. The downside is that when I did that, I basically denied them a direct connection to our Tampines hub. That is the one downside. But I want to use this opportunity to tell you guys why 291 and 293 are even what they are currently. Because as you know, these are town links, right? And they're made by two different feeders. They're made using two different feeder services, and then they merged into one. Now, here's the thing. 291 existed before present day service 34. In the past, 34 was a semi-express bus service between Bedok and Changi Airport, kind of like 24, except that it was semi-express, and back then there was no Changi Airport MRT line. Okay, present day service 34, even back then, it hasn't existed yet. It was just 291. So 291, it's supposed to link. Okay, I need to bring up the map again. 291 is supposed to, oh my god, to link. I'm trying to position the star. Okay, you see the star, right? This entire area, it's supposed to link the areas around Avenue 2 to the areas around Avenue 5. So, and then in the past, there was a bus service from Tampines Avenue 2 to Tampines Avenue 1, like this sector. So it's like, how do I put it? Okay, Avenue 1, Avenue 2. This one, okay, service 8 used to go to Pasir Ris, but then they switched it so that it terminates at Tampines. But Avenue 1 to Avenue 2, like basically from this Tampines Avenue 2, Tampines East area in general, to Tampines West, the area that is near Avenue 1 and 3, there is already service 8, direct, like this. So it kind of makes no sense for 291 to serve the entirety of Avenue 3. So what do you do with it? What they did was that they picked which feeder services to merge. So in essence, 291, which is already quite straight in the first place, they made it so that, because the West Loop used to be much shorter, right? And then it used to be much shorter, and then they extended it so that it used to be like this, if I'm not mistaken, and then they extended it like this. And the main thing about service 291 is Avenue 5, right? Because Avenue 3 is way too close to Avenue 1 geographically, you see how close they are. I mean, you still have to do a little bit of walking, but you get the idea that Avenue 1 and Avenue 3 are like quite close to each other. And it makes more sense to merge a feeder that is from Avenue 2 to serve Avenue 5, as opposed to serving the entirety of Avenue 3, which is close to Avenue 1. So they did this kind of crisscross, with 291 being like this and 293 being like this. Because making 291 like this kind of makes no sense, right? So yeah, that's what they did with it. And the thing is, you also realize that 291 is the straighter one, whereas 293 is kind of like the one that throws a little bit more, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like a 192, 193 case, present day versions. You have 291, which doesn't throw that much, especially in the East Loop, and 293, which winds like a lot more, kind of thing. The windier feeders, they merge it into one, and the straighter feeders, I know the west loop of 291 isn't necessarily that straight, but it's quite straightforward in some sense. They merge like the straighter feeders together to form one service called 291. And because 291's east loop is very straight, these people need fast access to Masjid Darul Gufran. See, the thing is, the bus already layovers in inside Tampines Interchange. And if it's a T, because for Tampines, the east loop is the one with the T, typically. I'm not talking about like, oh, 913 running T or 911's west loop running T. I'm not talking about that. Or I'm not talking about 912B or 912A. I'm talking about the fact that the T is on the east loop. So if they want to go to the mosque, they already have to lay over at Tampines. And you are not able to take the T trips as well to cross the gap to Masjid Darul Gufran. With that in mind, basically, unlike what they did here, can you see the purple line? Purple pinkish line. If you make them go via Central 1, Avenue 4, Avenue 5, they are going to get stuck with the congestion. And then these people's suggestion to the congestion is, oh, screw cars, right? That's not how you plan. That's not how you do bus planning or city planning in general. Car drivers are still road users. Bus drivers are road users. You have to take all of them into consideration. Okay? So this is why I really cannot stand all these anti-car people. They're just so selfish. They just want to push their agenda and force people to take public transport. Hey, I like bus. I like a bit of train as well. But I'm not going to force people to take public transport if they don't want it, okay? Some people just don't enjoy being in a claustrophobic environment with a lot of people. They want privacy to themselves. They have anxiety issues. They want to be in their own private vehicle. There's nothing wrong with it. So I don't want you people to go around shaming people because, oh, they like cars. They're car enthusiasts or anything. This is not the same as trying to reduce the number of cars on the road. You can reduce it, but trying to be as anti-car to the extent where you change your bus routes in a way that you sandbag other commuters just to achieve your own agenda is completely selfish. Like, I've already told you, Central 1, Avenue 4, and Avenue 5 is jam prone. You don't send a bus service to do this. Like, it's already bad enough that these people need to wait at Tampines Interchange. I mean, the bus captains need a break, right? They need to lay over at Tampines Interchange before they can cross over to reach the mosque, right? That's already time. You guys are making it worse by making this service troll even more and getting and intentionally getting the bus stuck at congestions. Like, all the bus has to do is just like right turn and right turn. That's all. This one is like, oh my god, I need to right turn at a junction. I need to right turn. I need to go across this junction. 291 is designed to be direct. It goes out of Tampines Interchange to Darul Gufran Mosque immediately. Immediately. Kind of how 293 takes people from the Eastern Loop to OTH immediately. Immediately. Like, literally, I'm shitting on my own proposal to prove my point, okay? And this is not about how only Street 33 and 32 are prioritized to the mosque, whereas these people don't have a direct connection to the mosque. I'm not talking about that. Even if sometimes you don't have to force direct connections when there are like multiple bus services that can go to Darul Gufran, like for example 72, 296. There is also 69 as well. Did I miss out anything? Oh yeah, 29. Basically these bus services. Oh, and there used to be 46, but now 46 doesn't. So yeah, four bus services. Literally just from take 293 and just transfer to like this to this to this or to this. You have 4 bus services in case you do not want to wait for the layover from uh, from East Loop to West Loop. If you want it quick as quick as possible, whether you're coming from 293 or 291, take 72, take 296, take bus service 69, take all of these bus services. It's much quicker than waiting for the layover anyway. It's just one transfer, and it's like the berths at Tampines, they are designed, okay, I don't know about the new ITH, but they are designed in such a way that in the middle there is the concourse, if whatever you call it, it's like, and then there are berths on either side. Tampines is legit one of the better designed interchanges. There are berths on either sides. And you guys are complaining that you want a direct access not just from street 33, 32 or 33, but from this area as well, and you claim that, oh, if we don't give bus to this area, you're considered selfish. Oh, you don't give people access to OTH, you're considered selfish because you don't care about all these direct connections. No, these people, they are trying to force every single possible direct connection in existence, even when it's not needed. Because it feels to me that like these people just want every single direct connection in the world. But then in their own proposals, they end up breaking essential direct connections like no more 53 to Bishan. Stupid. Only when it fits their agenda, they're like, oh, I want a direct connection only when it fits this agenda. If not, the other direct connections can be sacrificed. This is what happens when you go to tunnel vision on certain aspects, whilst neglecting other aspects of bus planning. I'ma just say one thing. Mosque access is important. Access to like our Tampines hub or the amenities that are near Avenue 7 are important as well. But this doesn't necessarily mean that every single bus service like within the neighborhood has to serve these areas. You cannot expect every single bus service to serve these areas because other areas they would definitely be neglected. This is what happens when people really don't put in effort to understand like the different purposes of like existing bus services before trying to like amend stuff. Don't even talk about like adding new connections or like cutting away connections when you don't even get the purpose of these services in the first place. Let me tell you another thing. I need to go back to the map again. Oh my god. And I want to say this one last time. Service 81. Present day Service 81. It's a fast option from Tampines Avenue 7 to Loyang, and then to Pasir Ris Drive 1. This entire stretch of Pasir Ris Drive 1 is not easily accessible via MRT. If you're coming from Tampines Interchange, or if you happen to be along Tampines Avenue 7, you need this direct connection, and 81 is the only bus service that connects this part of Tampines Avenue 7 to this part. Okay, well, there is 21 as well, except that 21 comes from Avenue 4, and then 21 goes up to Drive 6, right? But 21's frequency is quite bad, so having this is also a good thing. If you're coming from Tampines Interchange and you want, I'm talking about the interchange, not Avenue 4 outside, interchange, the main central goddamn hub, you want the fastest way to reach Drive 1, Pasir Ris East. 81 just so happens to take Tampines Avenue 7. It is the most direct way from Tampines Interchange to Pasir Ris Drive 1 along Pasir Ris East. So, I don't know if you didn't take your medicine today or yesterday or whenever you guys planned this, but what makes you think it is okay and justifiable to make people troll along service trees route and not even you guys didn't even give them a connection to drive one. You guys are like, ew, let's destroy 81 and let's just absorb everything into service tree. Let's send back like this part of Pasir Drive 1, let's send back this part of Tampines Avenue 7, and let's make these people trail along. Let's make all these people trail to Pasir Drive 1. I don't even care. People can just take 21, you know. And if they live along this area, why not you just one? I don't know. This is what I mean when you don't have a good understanding of bus routes. You start, I don't know, you start doing stupid things and you start pissing off commuters as well. Oh my god. Oh, I don't even know where. Oh my god. What else do I have to say? Like this is already bad enough. Like I already talked about how 296 will be affected by whatever happens to whatever happens at the East Loop, right? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is this? Guys, like oh my god, like what have you done? Like what in the fuck is this? Like, what is this? This route makes no sense. Oh my god. I know you have 28 here, but like 28 doesn't have like the best frequencies in the world, so you have 293. This is the reason why, same reason why you have 393, because Choa Chu Kang Avenue 4 cannot survive with just one bus service. Choa Chu Kang Avenue 4 is not the one that has JRL. JRL is along Choa Chu Kang Avenue 3, so Avenue 4 still needs these two bus services, and I'll come to that later. But what the hell is what the hell is this? Because of this, now people don't even have a fast option from Tampines into Street 23, 22, 32 and 33 anymore. They didn't even think about that. 291, it's like this. Why are you guys making this troll? I don't even know how to explain this. This is so stupid. My god. And obviously these people don't even understand the purpose of 81. To bring people from Tampines Interchange to like they don't know how to plan buses. Oh my god. Yeah, I talked about like how 296 will be affected by whatever happens at this stupid shit sector. It's so troll that basically 291's west 296 west loop, I shouldn't even say that. Their new combined services west loop, it'll get affected by whatever shit happens. Do you know how many traffic lights are there in this area? Oh my god. Oh, it's just gonna... Why can't you guys just leave 296 alone and just leave these feeder services alone? There's nothing wrong with them. Oh, Jesus Christ almighty, man. I think I'm about done with this. And this is why, guys, you do not make trunk services eat up feeder services. Or make service 3 eat up 68 when both of them have clearly different purposes. I've mentioned in another video talking about the purpose of like service 300 and why it cannot be green and white plate, right? Because of this hub spoke. If you're coming from like 67, 188 or 976, you can transfer to service 300 really easily. And not just that, 300 serves Choa Chu Kang Primary. It also serves Bukit Panjang Government High and Concord Primary. It means that it's the only link between this area and this area. 300 is the only link. That's why It has to keep its entire route. Okay, don't touch this. Don't fucking touch this. If you want to extend a feeder service and make it a trunk, do something with 301, because 301 just so happens to be extendable. It's kind of like disposable in some sense. I don't know if it's wise to like cut away either part of like this part, but like you get the idea. Like you want to extend something into tengah, do it with 301. There is nothing wrong with 300. I want to reiterate this. There is nothing wrong with 300. If you decide to amend 300 or integrate this into let another trunk service eat up 300, you are fucking stupid. See, when I at the start of the video, I was gonna tell myself I was gonna be, not so. I was gonna be a bit more polite, but then look at what I'm sorry, guys. Now let me explain to you. Jesus Christ. For the last time, 811 is supposed to connect Yishun East to Sembawang Road, and 800 is supposed to connect Yishun East. You see how 811 and 800 are like, they take different routes. One serves Yishun Ring Road and then the other one serves the outer loop, right? 800 does the same job except that the catchment is slightly different. That's why this route and this route cannot be touched. I don't know how many more times do I have to emphasize this. If you somehow want to convert 807 to a green and white plate, like, I don't know, convert it to ARRT or whatever. ARRT is basically just like, I don't have to explain it. Just search up ARRT and you get what I mean. Like an ARRT that covers the entirety of Yishun Ring Road. Let me just tell you guys, 東から西まで、西から東まで変えないでくださいよ。In English, 811 and 800 are supposed to take Yishun East to Sembawang Road, Chongpang. One serves Yishun Ring Road, one serves Yishun Avenue 9867. They are essential for connectivity to Sembawang Road, where there's 167 and 980 and whatever is these two services mainly. To hub spoke them from 167 and 980 and to and from 167 and 980. Vice versa, vice versa. This is the purpose of 811 and 800, 811's North Loop and 800. If you amend 800 and 811, you are stupid. I have done an Yishun feeder integration that involves changing 860 because 860 kind of duplicates. So in that context, it's still okay because there's this and this, and then I don't want to make them duplicate because this thing's frequency is not that good either. So I might as well give it more use, right? But that's because both of them duplicate for stupid reasons. Like it's how do I put this? It's like it duplicates, but not in a good way. However, these bus services, they have a purpose. Okay, so you don't touch them. And in my Yishun feeder integration, I didn't touch either of them. I only touched like 860 and I kind of got rid of 803, which to be honest, I don't think I should get rid of it because the demand is like actually kind of decent, you know. But yeah, even I make mistakes as well. But I'm just telling you, the people who try to integrate 811 and 800 don't know shit about bus planning at all. I know I accidentally like reviewed a little bit, but guys, like, oh. Oh my god, like, just please, like, you send this out publicly, you will get a lot of backlash. Oh my god, I'm speechless. You guys have really won the award for like the dumbest route planners in history.